Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Trish Lynn Show. I sound like really loud, I feel like, when I say that, when I first jump on. Welcome to this evening's episode of the Trish Lynn Show. Today, we are talking all things confidence, inner confidence, and authentic confidence, and what that means. And we have a very special guest coming on with us tonight. It is 8 o'clock in the morning for her. Vanessa is joining us all the way from Australia. And I want to say how much I love the power of social media and what we are able to accomplish, the people who we are able to connect with and share our stories with. I think it still blows my mind every fucking day when I get to meet so many wonderful men and women on their own journeys across the world. Like, it's a global experience, and I love it. So waiting for her to be notified that we are live, I'm gonna go in here and give her a quick message because that might be a little bit quicker than waiting on Instagram to let her know that we are live. I know she's on because I did just see, but I also know that Instagram takes a while to let everyone know that we are live. Okay, so that's dead. That's not gonna work. I'm gonna move you guys for a second here. Now I'm gonna move you over here for a second. I did try. You guys saw that. I did try. There we go. Now move you back over here. There she is. I see I'm moving you guys all around, and I don't have to because she found us. Hopefully we can get her on. Hopefully that works. If not, just request to join the live. Hopefully we can get this working. Vanessa, it's saying you're unable to join. Do I just click? No, you should be able to request to join. I've invited you. Let's see if you have to be. I don't know if I told you this. You do have to be on a mobile device. You cannot be on a computer. I may have failed to mention that part. I'm going to try inviting you again and see if it works. Thank you guys for joining us. Say hi. Let us know that you are here. Well, let me know. We are waiting for Vanessa to come on and figure out just some tech issues, which always happens, and I'm not surprised, and it's all good, especially when we are connecting globally. Vanessa is in Australia, so this is why our episode is airing. Yeah, it's saying unable to join. I am not sure what's going on. So I just sent her a quick message. Today we are talking about confidence, inner confidence, and authentic confidence. And we do have some questions lined up. It's going to be pretty amazing. Such a good conversation to have. Confidence is one thing that I have been working on since I had my first child, so 15 years ago, because having him, I actually lost a lot of my self-confidence that I had prior to that. I lost a lot of my confidence inside of that pregnancy. Okay, so Vanessa should be able to join us now. Um, we'll just give her a second to try again. Instagram very much wants you to be on a mobile device when you are going live, and I do forget to share that sometimes. So this is 100% my fault that it's taking us a little bit longer to get going, but it's going to be a good conversation, so stick around, and I'm going to try this one more time. Stick around because we do have some questions lined up. We want to make sure. There we go.
There we are.
That's my fault. I always forget to mention that piece, but Instagram wants you on a mobile device when you are going live.
And I thought it would be far better for me to be on a mobile. Just if I can just grab this, it'll be easier that I'm not holding it in my hands.
Perfect.
Right, there we are.
So thank you so much for joining us. I love the power of social media and just being able to connect globally. I've let everyone know you're coming to us from Australia, so it's 8 in the morning for you, 5 o'clock at night for me, and it's so powerful that we get to have this conversation, and we are so far apart, and I'm so excited to really dive into the confidence piece. I was just saying while we were waiting to get the tech issues sorted out, my confidence journey really started during my pregnancy with my first child 15 years ago, because I lost all of my confidence when I was pregnant with him. So this is going to be a really good conversation. I don't know if you know much about my story, but 16 years in a toxic relationship, confidence dwindled with that too. So I'm so excited to dive in and not only hear your expertise, but share a lot of my experiences. And for those of you who are joining in, give us some hearts, say hi, let us know that you are here, because it does help push the episode in the algorithm. And join in the conversation. If there's any part of the conversation that resonates, join in, give us your thoughts. I would love to have you as part of the conversation. And Vanessa, I'll let you introduce yourself, share a little bit about who you are. Everyone knows you're in Australia because I made that very clear. But yeah, say hi to the audience. Let us know who you are.
Yes, hi. It's lovely to be here. I really am excited for this. I am in Australia, on the Gold Coast of Australia, originally from South Africa, and have been in Australia for quite a number of years now, 16, 17 years. I come from a teaching background, so I have been a teacher for the past 38 years, and thankfully, Tony Robbins actually got me on this journey. It was in 2019 in Sydney. I went down to go to one of his Unleash the Power, and I promise you, life has never been the same since then. He just sparked something within me, and I just thought, this is it. I changed the trajectory of my life, changed completely, and my niche has changed. It has evolved, and now more than ever, I have gone into, being on the brink of the Aquarius age. It's all about women and flow, and it's a flow energy. So it just pulls it all together that for women in the world now, in business, entrepreneurship. I mean, women have taken entrepreneurship literally by the horns, and they are going. So it really is important. And then I've had lots of clients over the last couple of years saying, oh, but I am confident. I am confident. And yet they attract one narcissistic relationship after another. And they keep, and it's because of our beliefs and our subconscious, that we've actually got these little antenna that go out and grab the same partner over and over and over again, and they wonder why, and then they say, oh, but there are no good men out there. And it's because they've got these little antenna with the subconscious that keep on dragging and hooking in these narcissistic characters time and time again. So it is very different. This talking about confidence and inner confidence is really different. Putting on a pretty dress, a new dress, and off you go, yes, wonderful, you do feel great. Oh, you feel so good in a new dress. After you've worn that dress 10, 15 times, it doesn't have the same effect. And that confidence is pretty much external confidence. You know, we're getting validation from girlfriends, from men. Oh, you look so pretty. That dress does wonders for you. It lights up your eyes. You know, whatever, whatever. And yes, that does last for a time, but it's not that inner confidence. It's very short lived. And if we can, and especially being in schools, and I see it with young girls, where they really are, they're needing, and it should be in schools. We should be getting into all the schools and teaching young girls this, not what not to accept, what not to put up with in life.
Yep.
And really, if we get them at a young age and instill this absolute inner drive, this inner confidence, those girls will never be walked over.
Nope.
They will never be a pushover. They will never accept the narcissistic behaviors that so many women, you know, particularly 40 plus, that have been trodden on literally their lives. So that inner confidence is that feeling. It's more than just putting on a pretty dress, having a hairdo, all those short-term effects. The inner confidence comes from within, and it's kind of okay, I'm fine, even if you don't like my hair, even if you don't like my dress, even if you don't like me, I'm still okay with that. So backing yourself is so important.
And you can be so confident on the outside and you know what you wear, how you look, and still on the inside have such a lack of self-confidence. That was me for the longest time. I get compliments all the time about how pretty I am or my eyes. A lot of people comment on my eyes, and that now, I never used to be able to even take a compliment because of that narcissistic relationship. And now I'm like, thank you. And, you know, I can appreciate that. But I also worked fucking hard to get back to being confident in saying thank you and comfortable in who I am physically and internally. And it takes both pieces to really be comfortable with yourself.
Absolutely. And the receiving, to be able to receive a compliment without having to say, oh yes, you also look good, you know, you also look nice. And that's our natural way of receiving, is to give straight back. But it's just to actually hold that, and it's our nervous system. If we can hold that compliment and just say, oh, thank you, you know, and take it at that. We don't have to reciprocate.
No, and a lot of the times when we don't have the inner confidence, it's that reciprocation of, you know, needing to say something back and feeling like you have to say something back because you don't fully feel confident in that compliment.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly it.
Yeah. So I did share with everyone, we did have some questions that we wanted to make sure we kind of went over to really give everyone the most value from this episode. And I'm going to ask you this one, you know, as a coach, how important is inner confidence to you and your business?
Inner confidence is so very important, especially in the coaching or entrepreneurial space, because there are so many parts to it. So many parts and pieces, and especially if you don't come from a business background. So you come into this and you think, oh, I'm going to do it on my own. I've got this, I can do it on my own. But there are so many parts to it. You've got the systems. Absolutely. The systems to set up, the funnels, the lead generation, getting your target audience. You've got to write and post content daily. There are so many bits and pieces, and all along the way, what underpins and underlies everything, as soon as we open up our social media, whoa, we just get hit.
Gone. Yep.
Absolutely gone. No matter how confident we are when we start, we open up social media and we say, why on earth am I not like Sue, Jane, Mary, Melanie? Whereas they might be on page 10 or 20 of their journey. We're on page 1. Comparison shuts us down. And social media is not going.
Yeah. And I preach a lot about confidence, especially after a toxic relationship, because your self-confidence has dwindled. You're left as a shell of a human being. Your self-worth, your self-confidence you have to work on building it back up and looking for the evidence that supports, why you are such an amazing fucking human being. And opening up social media is the hardest. Like when I start a program or a launch, it's blinders on, because I will go down that rabbit hole of comparison. Oh, well, she's doing this, so I can't do that. So, and I've done it for years inside of that relationship, and I caught myself. It was a self-sabotaging pattern of, oh, well, I can't sell that because she's already selling it. Or I have this idea and I don't do anything with it. Then, a week later, someone else is selling it. I'm like, holy shit, that was like, why? Why didn't I do something with it? And you can get stuck in that, not wanting to launch the things that you want to launch or do the things that you want to do in comparison to what everyone else is doing, and that lack of confidence of, I get to do this too.
Yes.
And your authenticity and your confidence is what allows you to be visible and attract the people who actually need what it is you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And people don't buy programs. People buy people.
People. Yeah. People buy people before they buy things. It's one of my favorite things to say, because it's so true. They buy who you are and how you are. They don't care what's included. And for me, this again goes back to the beginning of my relationship or my business when I was in the relationship. I was so focused on selling what was included inside of the program that I wasn't selling me, because I wasn't confident in selling me. And now it's a whole game changer of, I'm selling who I am, and I'm selling what I bring to the table. And outside of business, and if we take this back to life, into the dating world, which I have tried to get back into, I know who the fuck I am now. And it's a whole new level of confidence. And I'm like, and if everything's swiping, right? So it's like, nah, I don't like the way your face looks. Next. But you know what you bring to the table. So I know what I want and what I'm looking for and what I'm bringing to the table. And if you're not going to rise up to meet me, then I'm not going to waste my time, because I have so many bigger things to do. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is that confidence that I want to see in each and every one of you, because it is so, like, I am feeling so hyped up right now, just even being able to talk about it, because it is such a next level energy and something that we all need to carry around.
Yeah, absolutely. And you now know your worth.
Yes.
Your self-worth. And that ties in very, very much the self-worth with the inner confidence, because it's that feeling, it's that empowering
Yes.
about how worthy you really are. And you're not going to put up with any shit. You don't need to.
Or like, I don't chase, and that's one thing. I've said this for a very long time. I don't chase, I attract. And even taking that into conversations with guys, it's like, well, you don't seem interested, so you know what? I'm not interested. I'm going to give you the same energy you give me, and we'll go from there. Because if you're not going to give me what I'm expecting, you're not worth my energy in my bubble.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it is all about energy.
Yeah.
It's everything's to do with energy.
Yeah. And it goes the same with clients and potential clients. I don't chase. I love, actually, I have a girlfriend of mine, and I started comparing online dating to marketing, because I'm like, there are so many similarities when you sit back and look at it. And I'll be dying laughing driving, because a lot of good things come through when I'm driving, and I'll send her a voice note and I'm dying laughing just comparing something that I saw to marketing. And it's the best thing. I love it. And it's, again, having that confidence to see, my value and my worth when it comes to business, when it comes to dating, when it comes to my life and what it is that I'm creating.
Yes. And that's just it, Trish. It's not in one area of life. It's not that we have confidence or inner confidence or worth in one area. It spills through every single area of life.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of women who come to me and they say, oh, they were in a relationship for however long, and then when they're out of that relationship and they look back on it and they think, how was I ever in a relationship with him? I made him out to be so wonderful, and I put him on a pinnacle, and loved him and did everything for him.
Yeah.
And look at him, you know, he's not half the man that I thought he was. And it was because of their energy that bumped him up
Yeah.
there. So it wasn't about him at all. It was about the woman, and her energy made him into what she
Yeah.
perceived him to be, but he wasn't really. So
And
it's
that's exactly what it is. And then, you know, once you start to see them for who they really are, you're like, oh shit. Why was I with him? And like I still have moments, and I know my mom's watching, so she might cringe a little, but like I still have moments. My ex is a very good looking man. And I still have moments that I'm like, yeah, like he's good looking, but I know the truth behind it. There's no going back, right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's still having for me is that level of confidence to be able to even say that, but know mentally where I am. Yeah, very cringe. Know where I'm at.
That's exactly it, and it's just such a web. And when you understand it, and you've gone in with your inner confidence, knowing your self-worth, you'll never put up with that again. Never ever.
And I
No.
actually find it now, and Mom, you can like this part too. I find it now even more empowering because you know we go to the kids' sports together, and for me, it's like, yeah, okay, he's a good-looking guy. That's cool. He's got a great job. That's cool. I know who the fuck I am, and that is so much more powerful than
Absolutely.
anything else. And I know he is still not. He's so unsure of himself and so what's the word? My mom will know the word I'm looking for. Um, he's not confident in who he is.
So he doesn't have self-worth, a lot of self-worth.
Yeah, yeah. He's not a confident person, and I find it so empowering to show up to these things and just stand in who I am and know who I am, and it's so powerful.
Absolutely. And generally, I mean, you know, there are always exceptions to the rule. Generally, women, and it's probably our intuition and our gut feel and whatever, that we are prepared to do the inner work,
Yes.
because it's all an inside job. And men, just due to their masculine energy, and their pride and their ego,
Yes.
they're not prepared to go in as easily or as quickly. I mean, I know that there are men that do
There
do
are
it.
a lot of men that are and
Yes,
do, but then
yes,
there's still a lot that, and I well, let's acknowledge both because there are men who do want
absolutely.
to do the work and create the change and be the
Yes,
change.
yes, and more so now in
Yes.
this generation,
Yeah.
which is great. But going back 20 or 2 or 3 decades ago, men were men, and well, you know, especially coming from South Africa, the man ruled the, and it was you know, the dominance, the
Yep.
control, all that came into
Yep.
it, and women were generally more submissive to South African men in particular. And with the way the world's going and the whole global, um, and leaning into, being more intuitive and the energy, and going into the realm with the likes of like Joe Dispenza and Bruce Lipton and Tony Robbins and all these gurus, we've now started to question. So women are not like lambs to the slaughter anymore. We are prepared to go in there and get our hands dirty, do the inner work, and then come up with the self-confidence,
Yep.
the inner confidence, the authentic confidence.
And I feel like the more that we do that, the more we are calling on men to rise up and do their own work as well, because we're raising the standards. And we go
Absolutely.
first.
And we almost, it's like we give them permission,
Yeah.
because we've done it and we now authentic, and we by being authentic, we actually make ourselves quite vulnerable, and we are vulnerable. And when men can tap into that vulnerability of women,
Yeah.
it's their permission piece
Yeah.
to actually do work on themselves.
Yeah. And I like it because there's no doing the work does not make you less of a man. If anything, it makes you a stronger masculine, and that I find very attractive.
Absolutely, absolutely, because then the man has the capacity to hold space for the woman.
Yeah.
So if she has a meltdown or an emotional outpouring or whatever, he's not, oh, I've had enough of this, I'm not putting up with this shit anymore, this is done, that's done now. They're not. They are able to hold that space for the woman and work through it, and those relationships will be absolutely powerful. Power couple.
Yeah. Powerful. So our next question, and it's kind of tying into a lot of what we're talking about, but how much do our beliefs shape our inner confidence?
Oh wow.
This
I
is
love this one. Our beliefs, and this is only later in life that I learned that our beliefs are formed and made, really, they're stories we've made up about ourselves from way back when, from growing up at the ages of 5, 6, 7 in our family environment, our family home. So all the beliefs around money's so hard to come by, money doesn't grow on trees, all those things that we heard as little children, we imbibe. And because we haven't got the wisdom, the maturity, the coping skills at that age, we make up stories. So we make up stories as to why all those things are happening. And our beliefs underpin everything until we actually are ready to face them, to lean into them, and to actually challenge them, because they are stories, and those stories, those narratives can be totally reframed. So if we are living with those beliefs that we had when we were 5, 6, and 7, we face a very poor life. We really do, because that underpins all our inner confidence. And our inner confidence comes up when we trust ourselves, when we believe in ourselves, and when we in our own corner. So no matter what life throws at us, we know we can handle it and we can move on.
Yeah.
So our beliefs, if we are sitting with those beliefs, those outdated beliefs, we are not going to have the life that we want to create.
No,
so very, very important.
it's really going into, and I love that you bring up the money piece, because I'm actually launching a money program right now, and it is all tied to our belief system and what we believe is possible for us. And I did a lot of work in shifting those beliefs before I even left my ex. And I still, every day, there's different pieces that I'm like, oh shit, that's what I'm thinking. Okay, this has got to be shifted. Even yesterday, I sat and I listened into my body of where I wasn't feeling like I am worthy of running this program, because I'm human. We're all human. We still have pieces come up. And I'm like, okay, it was in my solar plexus and my root. I'm like, okay, we have to clear these energies, because I know what I've created is a walking embodiment of the program that I'm running, but there's still those thoughts that run in the background that are saying, oh, you can't do this. Oh, you shouldn't do this. Oh, why would someone want to come join your program and learn about shifting your beliefs around money? Yet the evidence is I've done it.
Yeah.
And there's still, like, we're human, and it's really focusing on those thoughts and the things that you are telling yourself, checking in with your body. That's what I sat and I checked in, where am I holding this stagnant energy of I can't do this, and working through it.
That's it. That's to actually, because our innate, we immediately, as soon as those beliefs come up, we want to push them down, we want to suppress them, and push them down, push them away. No, we don't want to face them. It's like the shadow self. We don't want to face it, push it away. And yet those are the very, very pieces that will help us evolve to our next level. So once we actually face them, lean into them, and actually challenge them, they then dissipate until the next level. So different level, same devil. So every time
That's it. With each new level, there's a new devil, and there's always things that we're going to and we're human. We're still living through a human experience. So it's still, seeing what is coming up, what is in front of us. And I think I have this really big, I've done it for years now, so I don't even know that I do it, but I talk to myself a lot, and I talk myself through all of these pieces. So for me, it comes naturally, and it's more of a habit now to move through the things. And even last year, I was going through something, and someone's like, it's too soon. I'm like, yeah, I process things a lot faster than most people, just because it's become a habit. It's natural to just talk myself through it, and then it's done. I don't let it take control over me. And I think that's what's really helped me with my own confidence, is being able to move through things so much quicker.
Yeah. And you don't sit in that pit for too long.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no, I mean, I'm still human, so there's no like pity parties, but I had a day a couple weeks ago that I just felt like, oh my God. And I took that day and I woke up the next morning. I remembered who the fuck I am and I kept going.
And as you say, we are human. We're going to, we can't just rev at 100 kilowatts every single day.
Yeah.
It's our biorhythms, it's our energy, it's our all parts of us.
Yeah, I had a nap before this episode because I did a lot of peopling today. I did a lot of networking, and I'm like, okay, I've got to just take a break. I've met a lot of people. I'm gonna just clear my energy and come back refreshed. And we need to honor when we're in those moments.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because our bandwidth gets so frayed and so short, especially coming into this time of the year. I've just had my daughter on the phone. She's a lawyer. She's got her own practice in Brisbane, and her husband's a lawyer. And she said, "I'm losing it. I'm absolutely losing it." So I said to her straight up, today, get done what you've got to do. Take the rest of the day off.
Yeah.
Mental health comes first and foremost. And when we can tap in and we are closer to understanding why our bandwidth gets so frayed, as you say, we then check in with ourselves. We know where we're at. And that is the time when you say, oh, I'm hopping out
Yeah.
for a nap, for a walk in nature, for whatever, just to actually regain that. And it's our nervous system again.
Yeah.
It's our nervous system. So when our nervous system is all restless, we know then that we actually need to take a bit of a break. And whether that be a walk on the beach, a walk in nature, an hour power nap, whatever it is, we need to actually get those things done.
Yeah. And I think this is one thing that I like. Like, I'm not in for the hustle culture and go, 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 because that just trips up our nervous system. And you need to slow down to speed up.
Yeah.
I had that nap and I just wrote out a sales page for my membership. Like, it's like, okay, I needed this space. Now I just got this accomplished. And we get to have those moments where we pull back so that we can speed up. And, it's that clarity. I didn't have the clarity before I had my nap. This membership is from a couple months ago, but now I'm like, oh my gosh, everything just made sense out of
Yes.
nowhere. And I'm not even launching the membership right now. I'm launching the M3, the Money Mindset Program. So, like, it's amazing how things get to work for you when you take that time to honor yourself. And in that, it helps support your confidence levels because you get to show up in that more empowered way of knowing and trusting and having that clarity.
Absolutely. And it's so empowering to actually recognize when you need that break
Mhm.
and to come back full strength.
Yeah.
Because, I for many, many years, I always did that. I would power along, power along, power along,
Yep.
put myself beyond. I suffered adrenal fatigue for so many years.
Yep.
My adrenals were screaming. The levels were horrendous. They were out of control. And then wondered why emotionally I wasn't able to cope with X, Y, and Z. And now it's so easy to recognize that, recognize, hey, I need a break, take it, and then come back.
Yeah. And when you're in that overwhelmed state of go, 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 you're not going to get what you want to get accomplished anyways because you don't have that clarity and you're overwhelmed.
You totally overwhelmed, and that is when you're likely to make more mistakes. Until your body actually says, well, you know what, you're not paying attention to me, and then you either get sick or some disease or something happens. And why wait for that?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. In your opinion, why do so many coaches and entrepreneurs feel stuck when starting their soul journeys?
They feel stuck. Well, I've been on this journey too. Feel stuck Because of the overwhelm with everything that we've got to do, with everything that we've got to tie in, and we always think we're an entity to ourselves. So we think, oh, I can do this. I can go it alone. I can do it. I can learn how to do systems. I can learn how to do the funnels. I can learn how to do lead gen, and so on and so on. So the overwhelm comes with that. And then again, the social media platforms.
Yeah.
You know, especially if we're not, if we don't come from a business background and we have got all the bits and pieces and organizational structure for the business side of things, and then to deal with the social media aspect side of things as well. A lot of us, it's not natural to hop in front of a video and take lots of videos, talk in lives, do reels. You know, that's a challenge for a lot of people. To when even when I started, I mean, when I had to do a reel, I would do 10 or 12 takes, and each one got progressively worse. So I did the first one, and then you've got perfectionism, and you know, all these limiting beliefs that come in, procrastination, because now you're so overwhelmed that you just feel
Be like, okay, I'll do it later.
I'll do it later. And then there's so much information coming in, and you think, oh, I can't do anything. And you just sit back and you go totally freeze mode, nothing gets done. So it's a procrastination, the perfectionism that sets in. You open the Facebook, there are a million coaches
So
make dollars in a month. And oh, I've made 340,000 in 2 weeks. And you go, what is wrong with me? There has to be something wrong with me. So pile on the limiting beliefs. The everything comes in. I'm not good enough. The self-doubt, the procrastination, the perfectionism, everything sets in. And at that stage, you actually go, well, I'm stuck. I'm not moving anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not attracting clients. Of course, because as soon as we feel in that overwhelmed state, and again, the nervous system steps up and it's now on full alert. So we're hyper vigilant to everything. So in that state, we actually go back into a state of lack or survival. And when we are in a state of lack or survival, nothing is going to get us anywhere. It's like a buck or a deer being chased by a lion. There's no ways it's going to stand on the side of the paddock and start eating grass when it's being chased by a lion. So there's nothing. It can't sit and meditate under a tree when the lion's coming. So it's the same thing. We in total survival. So it's really everything just comes to a standstill, and it's just our main organs that are working, our heart that's pumping, our breath that's going. Nothing else can happen because we're not in a flow state. We're not in that abundance state. It's total survival and total lack, scarcity, survival, and lack is the worst state that any coach, any entrepreneur, soulpreneur, mumpreneur, anyone could be in, because nothing is going to flourish in that state.
And it is overwhelming starting a business without support, because not only do you, if you are a coach or a healer, you're not thinking about marketing and social media.
Exactly.
And like that's its own thing. Then you got to think about, business mindset and what's going to bring the money in through the marketing to your coaching. Like it is such a process and so many moving pieces that it can be so overwhelming, and then your confidence dwindles and you want to give up and you don't see the results you want to see. And I'm seeing this so much, and so many women who have so many good things to offer and to create, and it's just a matter of, here's the support that you need, like let's get you seeing these results.
And again, it goes to where we think, oh, we can do it on our own. As you said, so many variables, there's so many moving parts, there's so many pieces to the puzzle to get the big picture in the end. And we think, oh, we won't ask for help. It's a weakness. No, we won't. We'll do it on our own. We'll battle away. We'll do. And it's not. It's actually far more empowering to actually ask for help when you need it. To get a coach to work with you, so that they've done it. They've got all that. They've got the roadmap. They know where the blind spots are. They know when you hit a bump in the road. If you hit a bump in the road and you're on your own, It's really, you can go down a rabbit hole and, everything collapses.
Yeah.
Because they can see that and they will pull you up and haul you through it and get to
That's
the other.
it. Yeah. It is having that support there of someone who understands what it is you're going through so that they can talk you out of your shit.
Absolutely.
That's the biggest thing, is having that person, because you can go down that rabbit hole and want to throw in the towel so quickly. And having that support of someone who can remind you of who you are is
Yes. Yeah.
very needed, especially when you are in the online space and coaching space, because it's lonely. We work from home. Like, we
Very
can
tough.
get, everyone wants to talk about we can get caught in so many rabbit holes. There are days, if I don't have my kids, I will notice I could stay home for 4 or 5 days and not leave the house because I'm self-sufficient, and I'm like, holy shit, I haven't left my house in 4 days. I have to go do something, because I can work. I'll go make a coffee, go sit on the couch, come back in here and work. And I don't have to leave. But for my sanity, you gotta leave. And it can be so lonely because it's just, you're by yourself all the time.
It is. It can be a very lonely journey. And having a coach or having someone in your corner keeps you accountable.
Yeah.
So that at each step, so you're not looking at the whole staircase thinking, oh my God, how am I going to get to step
Yeah.
10? You're actually looking at each step one at a time.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot of pressure off, and then to keep you accountable, and then to make sure that front and center, you know who you are the whole way, because that goes for a ball. It goes down the side when you've got so much in front of you. You forget who you are, and you forget. It's only when you stop and somebody reminds you, or you've got somebody in your corner who says, hey, look at you 3 months ago. Look at you 6 months ago. Look how far you've actually come, because you don't always see that.
Yeah.
The coach that's working with you always is there to remind you, because they collapse time and space. They collapse the time and space. Instead of you plodding along and going through 15 kilometers of absolute dirt shits, they can collapse that. And you're doing 2 or 3, following a roadmap, doing one step at a time, being accountable for that step, and then being able to turn back and say, hey, you know what? Look at my achievements. This is a win. And getting those little wins, which is so important.
Yeah. And sometimes when you're in it and you're in the shit and you're going through the thoughts, you're so close to it, you can't see it. You can't see the problem. So having that outside perspective come in and say, look, this is what I'm hearing. Stop right now. Look how far you've come. Look what you've accomplished. Look at all of these little things that are leading
Absolutely.
up to, like, look at where you're going and look how far you've come from where you were. It's such an important piece to have.
Yeah, that is the empowerment piece. As you say, when you're in it, you do not see it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I am so thankful that I do have someone that I talk to every day, and she calls me out on my shit. I call her out on hers, and we are that honesty for each other, because we both need it,
Yeah,
and we can see when we're in it. We both had our moments. I think we like to take turns weekly having our moments, but we're there to support each other through it and call each other out on it at the same
yeah,
time, which is, again, a very important piece to have.
is very important. Yeah, definitely. I've got a few coaches, and I mean, over the last 2 years, I've had many coaches, and each one has given me parts of the puzzle pieces. There's not kind of one size fits all. And especially in different niches and different, you serving different people, different clients, you need those different puzzle pieces, because everybody's got their expertise, everybody's got their specialist
Yeah.
piece. And to get an array of all sorts, just it just empowers you in so many ways, and that again adds to the feeling that you have, well, you know what, I can do this, and I can handle whatever life throws at me, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And it's a battle. It's not an easy journey. It's not you decide to be a coach one week and the next week you're a flourishing coach earning millions. It doesn't work like that. It's a lonely journey. It's a roller coaster ride, And every day is you don't know what you're up for the next day. You don't know how your energy is. You don't know what you know what you're going to meet with different clients. It's such like a licorice all sorts.
I don't like those.
It really is.
So my next question for you, and from your experience, how can our audience or anyone who's listening in now, or anyone who does join in on the join in afterwards, how can they begin to create this change and grow their inner confidence?
Right, to grow inner confidence. We've got those little negative voices, the little chirp, 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 tweet, tweet, tweets that keep on telling us you're not good enough. How do you think that you can do this? You've never finished anything in your life. How do you think you're going to finish this one? You haven't achieved much. Those are the negative pieces, and we can't block them out. They are always going to be there. A very empowering part of what my clients is to reframe. You really have to lean. You've got to recognize those negative, the negative pieces that come in, and you've got to take them and reframe them. So, for example, why am I not doing what Coach Sue, Mary, and Jane are doing? Instead of saying that, we can say, what more do I need to know? What do I need to? What more do I need to know? What is my next step? Why am I? And the negative piece might be, why are you still so stuck? Why do I feel this way, so stuck? No, it's what next step can I take to take me further on my journey? What is the next step? Just the very next step, not 10 steps ahead. What is the next step I can take?
Those open-ended questions.
Yeah, and that thing is that we often ask disempowering questions like, why am I not moving ahead? Why am I not like X, Y, and Z? And we to take a stand and stop with those disempowering questions and actually ask empowering questions like what next step can I take? What more do I need to learn? Why am I not attracting clients who want to pay me in full? Instead, we could say, what more value can I add to my clients? What value can I give to them? Because by giving value to your clients, you're going to attract high-paying clients. You're going to get better clients. So it is all about questioning, reframing your negative pieces, the negative self-talk, and then also questioning your beliefs, because the beliefs underpin everything. So really rewriting or reframing those narratives. How much value, what truth is there in the negative belief? You're not good enough. You can't finish anything. Actually challenge it. Well, I did finish, and list the things that you have actually finished to perfection. List the things that you've done. They were messy. That like a live video. Oh, I can't do lives. Try one. It doesn't matter if it's messy. You will get better.
Look at this show. This show is trial and error and learning what works, because I couldn't figure out a podcast, and I love this because I love the interaction. I started messy. It's still messy. We still have tech issues, but it is so powerful to be able to share these conversations, and I love it.
Yes, and it's a natural conversation. It's not scripted. It's not following a pattern.
Yeah.
It's just thumbs up. Whatever. I mean, we've spoken about lots of things today, from the negative beliefs to the difference between, confidence and inner confidence, and how we can shift that. And even Tony Robbins, after 45 years of coaching, he still, before he gets to any event, and in fact, every single day, he primes himself for the day morning. Do something that is in the physical. Yeah. Let your body show your mind where to go. Yeah. So you change your stance and really get a powerful stance to begin in your morning, or before you go into a meeting, or before you see a difficult client, or whatever it is. Get that power start. Change your breath, your facial expression, and let that lead your mind.
You can look for the evidence of what's not working, and you're going to find more evidence of what's not working. Or you can look for the evidence of what is working, and you're going to get more evidence of what is working. And it's all into, like, there's sometimes when I don't know what belief that I'm having is kind of in my way, and I will ask that open-ended question of what am I believing right now that is standing in my way? And then I go about my day, and the answer comes to me. Because sometimes we don't know. We know it's something, and for me, it's how it is a lot of the time. I know it's something, and I'm like, okay, like, what am I actually thinking? What thoughts are going on that I'm just not really catching?
Yes.
Because I know they're there, but I'm not catching them consciously. And, subconscious then brings them forward for me to witness and be able to shift.
Yes.
And sometimes a lot of my clients, the powerful conversations we have are in the conversations, because I catch what they are saying and how they are saying it. And I'm like, hold up, we are changing that right now because you believe this, and this, and that is not serving what it is that we are creating.
Absolutely. And perception, projection. So whatever we perceive it to be, we are projecting that energy into the universe. So whether it's bad or whether it's good, but for us, that's going to be our truth. So rather than sit on the negative and all the things that we haven't got, change it to the.
Yeah. I have one last question for you. In your journey of confidence, how has that helped and how has that evolved in your business?
I battled, I've struggled for most of my life with low self-esteem, low inner confidence. I really struggled. I was a people pleaser of note. I would do anything for everybody, never being conscious of my needs, never wanting to put myself first. And that was my life. That was my life for many, many, many years. Even after I had my children, I was still the people pleaser, trying to get approval outside from everybody, and get one disappointment after another, never speaking my truth. And then in 2021, I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer. So no second guesses there. The whole chakra, the throat chakra, not being able to speak my truth. And I thought, no, something's got to change. Being hit by a 10, and forget the feather, forget the brick. It's a 10-ton truck. And I thought, this is it. This is what I've got to change the trajectory of my life, and started doing all the inner work. With the Tony Robbins, I then did a rapid transformational therapy with Marissa Peer for a year in the UK. Did the hypnotherapy, then did the NLP, timeline therapy, and it's really been a journey of self-discovery, having a look at all the stuff within me that kept coming up, but I put it aside, suppressed it, and those things never go away. They bob up everywhere, all over the place. The more you push them down, the more they bob up. A balloon underwater, it bobs up everywhere. And I thought, well, if I'm not going to address this and change it now, I'm going to sit and suffer for the rest of my life. So that was my, and that's where I started, with really little or no inner confidence at all, no self-esteem, absolutely people pleaser. People walked all over me, and until you know your worth, until you can actually shake yourself up and say, what is going on? Why are you accepting all this bull dust? Stop right now in your tracks and actually do something about it. And it's going to be a lifelong journey. You learn and discover things about yourself all the time. And the limiting beliefs don't stop. But when you've got the coping tools and the mechanisms to actually turn it around, change the narrative, when you've got someone in your corner, when you've got a coach, when you've got a life coach, empowerment coach, whatever it is, who's backing you and can show you the steps, walk the steps, holding your hand. That's how I've got to where I am today. And the visibility was a big one for me. I never wanted to be visible, be on video, doing lives, doing reels. I cringed when it came to that. I thought, there's no ways I can do this. I can't do this. If this is what coaching is about, I will never be able to do it. Until I said, hey, that's your inner critic. Now let's reframe that. Why can't you do it? Let's start messy. Messy is sexy anyway. Let's start there. And
it is that inner critic, and the fears of, well, what everyone's gonna think, and when you can come out the other side and say, well, I don't give a fuck what anyone else thinks.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
I've said this on the show for the last few episodes, and I'm gonna keep screaming it to the world because I'm going through my I don't give a fuck era, and it is so powerful and so empowering, and I feel so confident just in that. It is transformed. I have seen my own transformation just in saying I'm in my I don't give a fuck era, because I your words don't hold power over me anymore, and that is powerful. And when we can all get to that place and we can come together and support each other from that space and that energy, oh, the world, I can feel the world up leveling, and it feels so good.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very empowering. And that is it. We are so scared of people judging us, of judgments, being criticized. It actually locks us into our own prison.
Yep. Um, I don't know if I can say this on the show or not, so I'm going to try and say it, but I've noticed there are people, especially when I go to my sons, I'll try and word this in a way that I can say this without getting in any form of shit somehow. When I go to my son's hockey games and stuff, I notice there are people who have to sit in this like group to feel like they fit in. And I sit where our team sits, but I always sit by myself. And I was sitting there the other day, and even in ball hockey, and I'm just like, I'm okay on my own because I don't give a fuck what anyone else thinks of me. And
Yeah.
like that, to not feel the need to fit in. And if anyone is resonating with this, and you're still in that I'm trying to fit in stage, but you don't want to be there. You've got to come connect with us because I'll help shift that really quick. It's so much fun. But just being in that space of knowing that you can stand on your own and in your power and in your confidence without really caring what anyone else thinks.
That is so empowering.
Yeah.
And it will only be the people who judge are the ones that feel so insecure in themselves.
Yes. And it is their judgment is from where they are at, and that's a big piece that I want everyone to recognize. If someone is judging you, or when we show up on social media, a lot of times we don't say what we want to say or do what we want to do because of the fear of judgment or the trolls coming out, but they are only seeing things from their level of perception, and where they are at is not where you are at. Like you said, you might be on, in their world, you're on page 20, they're still on page 5.
Yeah.
And they're
Yeah.
judging you because really they're insecure about themselves, and the fact that you are where you are and they're still stuck where they are.
Yeah. And it's all about them. And as children, and that's why I say it's so important we should get this into the schools, is because from little, children are so scared of being judged. If they're
My
not,
daughter.
yeah, if they're not picked for the popular group or the social team or the sports team, they feel so sad. And it's not them. It's actually the even children that go ahead and bully others. Never about the child that is being criticized. Always about the other.
Yeah.
The other. And it would be so powerful for children to grow their confidence, that it, they realize that it's not about them, that
Yeah.
it's the other person. Because we always take it so personally.
Yeah.
If somebody, whether it be a breakup or whatever, oh, they broke up with me, it's all about them. It's very little to do with you.
Yep. And that's one thing I do like to say, and I like to say that to my kids all the time. My oldest and my daughter, my middle child, not so much, but And you know, my oldest will go through some things, and I'm like, dude, it's not about you. They have their own insecurities and their own problems. You know, when it comes to our lives, it's never, you know, we get rejected in our businesses, and this could be a really good one that a lot of people jumping on resonate with. You know, we get a no in our business and we make it mean something about us.
Yeah.
And that can bring our confidence levels down, but that no has nothing to do with you, has nothing to do with me. You don't know where this person is at and what they're going through, and it has everything to do with them. And when you can own that and be understanding of the rejection as a good thing, because you don't know, maybe that could be a yes if you force it, but it's not a good yes, and
No.
you're going to be a hell client, right? The no's are always a good thing, and it means nothing about you, and it's everything about them and what they are experiencing and what they are going through.
Absolutely, absolutely, and it's where they are in their model of the world. It's like we see, you know, you might see the glass half full, I see half empty. It's the same glass.
Yeah.
Just our perception of it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, this has been such an amazing episode. I will end it so that we are not taking up everyone's time, and I'm not taking up your time, because I feel like we could keep talking. It's so good and so informative, and I've absolutely loved this conversation. Is there any final words you want to leave the audience with?
The most important one is reframe. Reframe your questions to yourself, reframe your narratives, reframe your beliefs, lean into those beliefs, lean into the fears, and challenge the truth of them. And if you can honor those three things, you're on a good wicket to actually being more empowering in your life, in yourself as a person and in your life. And the inner confidence piece is, it's okay, no matter what they feel, what anybody feels, I'm still okay within me. I'm in my own corner. I'm backing myself. I've got this, whatever life throws at me, good, bad, or ugly.
Mm-hmm. I love it. I love it. I'm going to put your handle in the caption for everyone to connect with you. And if they do want to see what you have to offer available, they can come check you out and connect with you. And for anyone who is joining in or has caught the episode, I do have a confidence bundle linked in my bio that I put together when I went through all of these pieces. So check out both of us. Check out the bundle if it's something that resonates. I'm sharing both because you never know what people resonate with, and I want to put both options out there for them. And if you resonated with Vanessa, go check out her page, say hi, connect with her, see what she has to offer. And thank you so much for joining on the episode. If you're joining in on the replay, leave us your comments, join the conversation, be a part of the conversation. If you disagree, I want to start throwing this out there because I don't throw it out enough. If you disagree with anything we say, put it in the comments, because these are the conversations that I love to have. I love perspective and seeing different points of view. So that is a big one.
Yeah.
Join in the conversation, and I will see you guys on Friday. Thank you so much for joining me.
It really has been such a lovely show, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I also do have a website, so there's lots in there as well. They're little blogs and little podcasts on entrepreneurship. And so there's lots for people to hop on and check it out.
Is your website linked in your bio here on Instagram?
I'm not sure. It'll be Vanessa Williamson. I think it's transformational coach. I'll get that sorted.
Okay.
I'll link
Perfect.
it. Okay.
Awesome. And I'll make sure that you are linked in the caption.
Thanks, Trish.
Okay.
Thanks. It's been wonderful.
Bye.
Lovely. Bye.